You get your blood test results back. A page full of numbers, abbreviations, ratios, and you have no idea what any of it means. But here's what's remarkable. That single vial of blood they took from your arm contains enough information to reveal your risk of heart disease, diabetes, infections, cancer, liver damage, kidney failure, and dozens of other conditions. All from a few milliliters of liquid. Here's how. Let's start at the moment the needle goes in. The nurse ties a tourniquet around your upper arm. This isn't just to find the vein, it restricts blood from flowing back toward your heart, causing the vein to swell and become easier to target. Then they tap the inside of your elbow. That tapping causes the vein to dilate slightly with more blood, making it even more visible. The needle goes into the antecubital vein, the large vein that runs through the inner crease of your elbow. It sits close to the surface, runs in a predictable location, and is wide enough to draw from quickly. That's why almost every blood test uses this exact spot. Now here's something most people never realize. The nurse isn't manually pulling blood out. The collection tubes have a vacuum sealed inside them. The moment the tube connects to the needle, the pressure difference does all the work. Blood rushes in automatically, pulled by the vacuum, until the tube is full. And if you've ever noticed that multiple tubes are taken, there's a very specific reason for the order they're collected in. Each tube contains a different chemical additive. One prevents clotting, one encourages it, one preserves certain proteins, one is completely empty. If they were collected in the wrong order, trace amounts of those additives would contaminate the next tube and corrupt the results. So the order is standardized across every lab in the world, and the tubes are color-coded so nurses never mix them up. Purple top, full blood count. Red top, hormone and protein tests. Green top, electrolytes and enzymes. Gray top, glucose. Now your blood arrives at the lab. And this is where the real story begins. The first thing that happens is centrifugation. The tube is spun at high speed, typically 3,000 rotations per minute, for several minutes. That spinning separates your blood into its components by density. Red blood cells, the heaviest, sink to the bottom. A thin middle layer of white blood cells and platelets forms above them. And on top, a clear yellowish liquid called plasma. It's this plasma that carries most of the information. Hormones your glands are releasing. Proteins your organs are producing. Waste products your kidneys are filtering. Glucose your cells are consuming. Markers of inflammation your immune system is generating. All of it is dissolved in that liquid, in measurable concentrations. And here's the part that makes blood tests genuinely extraordinary. Your body is constantly producing thousands of different molecules, enzymes, hormones, proteins, lipids, electrolytes, and releasing trace amounts of them into your bloodstream as a byproduct of normal function. When something goes wrong, an organ struggling, a cell mutating, an infection taking hold, the concentrations of specific molecules shift. Sometimes slightly, sometimes dramatically. A damaged liver releases elevated levels of certain enzymes, ALT and AST. An inflamed heart releases troponin. A struggling kidney fails to filter creatinine properly, so levels rise. A thyroid producing too little hormone shows up as elevated TSH. Every organ in your body is essentially broadcasting its status continuously, through the molecules it releases into your blood. A blood test is just a way of listening to all of those broadcasts simultaneously. From a single vial. Here's a number that shows the scale of what blood testing has become. Over 4 billion complete blood count tests are performed every single year worldwide. In the United States alone, 500 million. And the global blood testing industry was valued at nearly $97 billion in 2024, projected to reach $160 billion by 2030. But here's the number that puts all of that in perspective. A standard full blood count, the most common blood test in the world, analyzes around 15 to 20 different health markers from a single sample. A comprehensive metabolic panel adds another 14. Throw in a hormone panel, a lipid panel, and a thyroid screen, and a single blood draw can generate over 50 distinct data points about your body. 50 different health signals, from one needle, one vial, one arm. And analyzed by a machine in under an hour. And here's the part that genuinely changes how you see that results page. There's a new type of blood test called a liquid biopsy, and it detects fragments of cancer DNA floating in your bloodstream. When cancer cells divide, they shed tiny fragments of their DNA into the blood, in amounts so small they were undetectable until very recently. Liquid biopsy technology can now find those fragments, and identify not just that cancer is present, but what type it is, and in some cases, where in the body it's coming from. In clinical trials, liquid biopsies have detected certain cancers up to 4 years before they would have shown any physical symptoms. 4 years earlier, from a blood test, before the patient felt anything at all. All from the few milliliters of blood that fill that small tube. So next time you get that results page back, full of numbers and abbreviations you don't recognize, you know what it actually represents. Every organ in your body has been broadcasting its status. Your blood collected all of those signals simultaneously. A centrifuge separated them, a machine read them, and that page is the translation. Not a random list of numbers. A detailed real-time report on everything happening inside you, delivered from a few milliliters of liquid taken from the inside of your elbow. The most information-dense substance in the human body. And you've been carrying it around your whole life. That's it for today. Drop a comment. Does getting a blood test make you anxious? We want to know. If this made you think, subscribe, because we explain something new every single week. Now you know.